Hey, what's up, everyone? I am going to be going over yesterday's TT. For those who are in the CIS program, we did a TT yesterday in Sands and Sequoia. This is the TT for September 15th, 2020. And I think I did well. Overall, I think I did well. Um, my main focus was keeping momentum. So before I jump in, if you've ever ridden Sands and Sequoia, you know there is Titans Grove KOM. So my biggest concern was this portion. I knew that the most important thing I need to focus on was momentum. If I didn't keep that momentum towards this end, where you have a lot of punchy areas, punchy hills, like a lot of rolling hills, I would get caught in this yo-yo effect of trying to get over the hill as quickly as possible. And if you don't maintain the momentum, or if you don't get it right, it's kind of hard to keep that momentum and push forward. It's not a fun feeling. That yo-yo feeling is not fun if you don't get over the hills in an efficient way where you're keeping that momentum. And that will take you off focus, that will make you feel uncomfortable, and is just not going to help generate the power, that consistent power, or the power that you need to get over those punchy hills. So again, the biggest worry here was Titans Grove and the back end of Titans Grove. What I did for this route, I went with the TT bike, went with the Specialized Shiv, along with the Zip 808s. I picked out TT because I am, for the type of rider I'm good at climbing, and from what I am told, if you're a good climber, you're also a good time trialist. So I wasn't too worried about needing to pick a road bike so that I can use the lightweight advantage to get over Titans Grove, if that makes sense. And I saw a lot of opportunity here. The first kind of portion of flats, and then the downhill, and then the flats at the end, for the opportunity to be arrow to get that advantage, because I was confident that I was going to climb well, or well enough to kind of get over Titans Grove as quickly as possible. So again, we did Sands and Sequoia with Titans Grove, and I think I did well. I believe I did well. My heart rate did jump to Z5 at a point, and that was on Titans Grove. Hands down, I was on Titans Grove. But for the most part, I kept it in Z4, which I was really happy about. Didn't think about it too much. I know last week, the route that I did, I was kind of focused on reaching 230 watts and trying to keep it at that. Based on that experience, I said, well, I'm just going to keep it at between 200 watts and like 215, and not gonna go crazy over it. So if we see here, on average, I was doing 209, and then Titans Grove is this portion. So I tried to maintain 209. I made my ride a lot easier than just trying to focus on hitting 230. So if we go, let's go to the recording. Okay, so here we are. It's actually me just starting. This is, at this point, I crossed that first banner, the Fuego Flats banner. I think it's this one here. So I didn't kick it till later, and that's just for other reasons. But I wasn't stressing like last time about trying to hit 230. I kind of kept myself cool, calm, and collected. And I said I'm just gonna stay around 200, 210, keep it green, try and keep it consistent. And instead of whenever I come about a change in steepness, so if it went up 1% or 2%, I wasn't going to switch gears. So that helped me calm my mind a bit, and it helped me, I think it helped me stay consistent. It helped me keep myself calm. And I think by keeping yourself calm, I was able to focus on other things. Like I was able to focus on my breath. I was able to control my heart rate a bit better. And so again, my goal here was to keep it under 161 heart rate, because after 161, that's technically Z5 for me. So my cadence was actually really good. It's like around 80, high 80s, and I was reaching a good power. So I was really happy about that. Last week on this same route, I was so worried about changing gears. So like going down a gear whenever I hit 1% or 2% to kind of maintain that power and also control my heart rate. But this time I didn't do that. Whenever I hit an incline, I just either powered through it because it was short enough, or I just reduced my cadence and just slowly went over the climb. So let's jump over a few spots. So yeah, so here last week, what I did is approaching this small climb, I went down a gear. This time I didn't. So here I have my hands on the hoods, and then I go back to the drops, and I just kept going. Let's see if I get back on the hoods again. 1%. I didn't change anything. I just kept on pedaling. Let's see, 2%, and I kept on pedaling. And this time, like, I was hitting 85 revolutions per minute. Went down to 83, but by the time I hit like 83, 82, I'm starting going to feel the downhill. So that really kept me cool, calm, and collective. Heart rate didn't jump, didn't spike, and I was able to kind of relax, which is really nice. Here, I'm pretty sure I didn't pick it up a gear actually. I think later on I do. By picking up a gear, I was going to a smaller gear ratio to for my downhills. That's the other strategy that I kind of kept. Is for downhills, any strong downhills, I kicked it up a stronger gear so that I can reduce my heart rate, but maintain, reduce my heart rate, pedal at a lower cadence, but still have that power around 200. But so that's basically it for the flat section. I just tried to maintain around that power and just keep myself cool, calm, and collective. So let's see. Here though, this climb I did. That little climb into the forest area where it hits 3%, and then I think it later hits maybe 4%. Here I did drop to a smaller gear, because there's no way for me to pedal through that in the same gear and not have my heart rate spike up. So here my hands are on the hood because I'm pretty sure I just dropped my gear to a bigger gear, so I can spin at a cadence I wanted, but and output a good amount of watts. So that didn't change. That strategy here didn't change. Let's go to Titans Grove. So here is kind of like, I guess you can consider the start, right? Here we start going up, seeing 4% climbs, maybe even 5. So the longer climbs, same strategy as anything else. I'll drop it to a smaller cadence. And then I just try and sustain that. What happened to my music? Decided to put some music instead of having awkward silences. Okay, so for here, I tried not to change gears so much. So you saw that we went from 4% down to 0%. And so here's where, like, it's not as punchy, but it's still rolling climbs. So again, I focused on high cadence. So you'll see I reach a cadence of 99. So here I'm making sure, and I ease up a bit down the hill. But once, like right here, I start spinning, making sure I have a high cadence so I can get over that hill. So like every time I hit like the bottom of a hill, I'm increasing my cadence. And at this point, I'm honestly not paying attention too much to how much power I'm driving, because I know that my high cadence is going to drive the power that I need to get over these hills. Because I've ridden through Titans Grove and I've gotten stuck in this yo-yo of like pushing watts out to get over the hills, my main focus was whenever I get to the bottom of like that in between of the hills, just increase the cadence whenever I see them going up. And then for these long descents, or kind of long descents, I try and reduce my cadence. And so you'll see me at the bottom. I'm playing with my gears a lot. So downhill, I'm switching to a harder gear. Cadence is at 73. Trying to drop my heart because I know my heart rate is going up. And so here I drop it to 155. I'm still going downhill, still at that hard gear. Here I'm easing off a bit because I know it's starting to flatten out a bit. And here's the climb, and so again, change it up. And this one, it seems to be a little bit longer climb. So back to keeping it at a specific gear, a nice cadence, making sure that I hit the power that I want. And at some point, I did lose focus. Like I would drop it, instead of one gear easier, I would drop it 2 because of how punchy it was. Let's speed up a bit and go to the really punchy section. Because from here is just sustained climbing. It's only after we reach that banner that things change up. Okay, so here's the downhill. So my cadence is low. I'm just trying to drop my heart rate, which I get to 155, which was pretty nice. I was able to drop into really low beats per minute, at least compared to what I was seeing earlier. So after this long descent is when we start getting the punchy climbs. The one thing about this route that's very deceiving towards the end, and actually I think towards the beginning, the hills, the incline, the climb doesn't look like it's going up much. but treat them as if they're, you gotta treat them like actual climbs. Like, you can't underestimate these little climbs. So here I am pushing 300 watts, and that's high cadence. Again, high cadence to get over these hills to make sure that I have momentum to get over. And they're punchy. They're not that long. So here I'm about to hit Z5, so my getting into the red a bit. But high cadence hitting 280, 285. This one's a little longer. Towards the top, I start playing around with my gears again. Let's see. Long downhill, so reducing my cadence. I see the hill. I drop some gears, and I just spin. And I do this throughout this punchy area because it's really the only way that I think that I can go through it. Like I said before, if you're not going through these with high cadence to keep the momentum, you're gonna start grinding. If grinding your gears is not the way to go through this section, because it's a pain in the butt, and you're just gonna waste a lot of energy trying to get over these climbs. If you're trying to go through these climbs at like a 79, 83 cadence band. And what's good is that because I'm hitting such a high cadence, I'm hitting a very high power. So I'm either staying at the desired power throughout, or I'm going above what I want it to stay at. Because with that high cadence, you're generating more power. And so with every climb, I'm increasing my cadence to at least 90, 93. Worst case scenario, I'm going like 100 at 100 cadence. And it's towards here that you think it goes flat, right? Like here, like, oh, okay, we're done. Cool. So you're going downhill and you're like, okay, it's over. And then there's one last bend where it's technically a climb, and you have to keep your cadence, right? So here, like, downhill, flattens out. This part is deceiving, right? That's why I continue my momentum, because it goes up 2-3%. Before, when I've done this, I just assumed that, okay, I can just go through this normally, and you can lose some time, or you can spend more watts than desired. But that's pretty much it. That is what I did. That is what I went through. I think the hardest part of this route is really those punchy climbs, and trying to manage your efforts there. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm glad of how I performed. I think if there was something that I could improve on, it would be a little more better management of changing gears or selecting my gears. I think there were times going through that punchy area where I jumped 2 gears instead of 1, almost like being too overly cautious or overreacting in a way, where maybe I could have just went just one gear down or one gear up. But overall, I was pretty happy with this ride. But that's pretty much it. Feel free to share, feel free to comment. For those who have done this, for those who have thoughts or ideas of how to go through that punchy area, feel free to share. Also important, if you're looking to complete the Zwift Insiders segment, so if you look at the route details and you look at the Strava segments, make sure to go through that banner. If you don't go through the banner, the Fuego Flats banner here, and I'll point it out in a sec. If you don't go through that, Strava's not going to record it, and then you won't be able to see your time and how you actually performed. So remember, you're going to see this, and you got to make sure to go through that. So on this course, it's going through that natural bridge here, the natural bridge, going underneath that. That's where the Fuego Flats kind of ends. And I know there was some confusion for those who are in the CIS program. I think I was confused, or I guess I wasn't reading carefully. The effort starts as soon as you spawn into Utopia. I didn't do that. My effort kind of started when I hit the Fuego Flats underpass. So for next time, I'm definitely just going to, as soon as I spawn into Utopia, just hit the ground running, because that is what Coach said. So that's basically it. That is my effort. This week, I think Team Blue took it, which is great. I am on Team Blue. Next week, there is the week 4 of this month's challenge, and the parameters basically is you can go into Z5. I'm pretty sure. Usually that's what the last one is for. It's like this nice mystery map where you don't find out till the day before or the night before, and you just give it full gas. So I'm looking forward to recording that, looking forward to how I perform, and I'm looking forward to seeing the map that's chosen. So thanks for checking this video out. Feel free to share knowledge, comments, thoughts, and I'll see you later.